Hello, everyone. It's been like a month, it seems like, or more. Seems like it's been a year since we've seen everyone
Been a
on
month of
here.
Sundays.
A month of Sundays. That's right, honey. So we are super excited to see everyone tonight as we tie another fly. We tell some stories from our travels to England and to Scotland and to Norway, visiting our friends everywhere on the other side of the old pond. Um, but this fly, when I saw it sitting on Barry Ord Clark's desk, I knew I wanted to tie it. I've seen this a couple times, but this is going to be a great one for Freddie and for Fisher's flies to tie because this is I'm gonna make it really easy. You can complicate the heck out of it if you want to. You okay over there?
Oh, sorry.
um, we can complicate the heck out of this thing. But hello, Doctor Stevenson. Um, but uh, but this is a really cool fly. I when I saw it, I thought it would work really well as an attractor pattern in small little streams. So up in the mountains. So that was that's why the ones in the background I tied yellow. Barry tied a red Panama. Obviously, you can tie it whatever color that you want to. The one I'm looking at right now has one, two, three, four, five different feathers from five different birds on it. You could make it six different feathers from five birds, but um, like I said, we're going to try to make it a little bit easier. Thank you, Bill. Um, it is good to be home, although now I'm tying black flies for Alaska. It's a tough, tough going between that and work and the kids. Hello says, "Hey, cheerio, cheers, Wes, cheers." That would be a brilliant comment. Is that what they say, honey?
Cheers.
And brilliant. Um, all right, so I think we're going to jump right into it. Katie, you want to show the vice real quick, and we'll show the. So this is the one of the ones we posted today. This is the red Panama. Um, as you can see on my little bodkin, we've got the golden pheasant tippets here, some red floss, some hackle. This is Whiting Farms brown hackle here. We have some partridge, soft hackle. We've got some hen brown. This is furnace hen and grizzly hen there. So
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on. It's almost like a salmon fly.
almost not, but yes, almost. So we got one, two, three, four, and the partridge makes five different birds. So that is it. Now this is one that I kind of played with here, and I think it'll work just fine. The key for fishing this, and that's why we're tying them, is to actually fish them. Is when you throw this thing on. Probably should have looked at it first. When you throw this on, see we've got our brown hackles in the front. Show on the bottom, so you can see that. See the bottom ones are brown. Oh, I can't see right there. That's brown. And then we've got this interesting color hackle here for the top ones. Once again, partridge, yellow, and red golden pheasant tip is dyed red. But yellow works great in the Great Smoky Mountains. And this is going to be a fun one to throw. But what you want to make sure that you tie on a little bit heavier tippet, because just like a bigger stimulator, this will twist your size, your 5x tippet, probably even 4x tippet. So I'll probably start with 4, but possibly go down to 3x, because otherwise this thing is going to spin like a top and mess up your leader pretty bad. Several of my questions have been answered by your excellent photography. Won't Steve ask away? I probably should be looking at your all's comments. Katie, say thanks, Steve. He's complimenting you on your photography.
Thanks, Steve. Thank you so much.
Okay. We've yeah. We've
And
got
thanks, Al, for the was it Al that sent us a pack of
goodies. Yes,
goodies?
the moose and the feathers and all and the muskrat face, half a face, I believe. Big thanks to Al. We're going to be tying with that
Love
soon.
it.
Okay, so I'm going to try to tie 3, but if not, I will definitely get 2 in. We'll get to tying here. So the reason I want to try to tie 3, these are tied on a 3x long dry fly hook. So we're going to use this R43 size 10. So it is a giant for us, a giant dry fly. Hey Bill, great seeing you. But we're going to try to cram it down on a standard dry as well. So if you don't have a really long one, that you don't need to be feel like you can't do anything.
You
But
don't like cram it.
well, we'll just finesse
Encourage it
it.
to fit.
There you go. That's the word. We're going to encourage the materials to fit. And I need one of those fancy new boxes because I can't even get a hook out. Step 1, get a hook out. So what's up, Steven? You missed our show and tell on what we want to tie. Okay, so we got the mustad 3x long R30 hook. And oh shoot,
Why is it called Panama? Is it like Van Halen?
it is a French pattern. I don't know why it's called Panama. I didn't do like a whole ton of research on it. So R43, 3x long, size 10, big old hook. I'm gonna start off with 12-aught classic wax thread in black, and I'm gonna start it roughly here. So if you see where this is started, I've got enough room for a few turns of hackle in the front right here, and I've got enough room for that soft hackle and then ahead as well. So that's our goal anyway. So Stephen, just what's up, Marcus? So I think this will be a good one for Stephen and Marcus to jump in, and Al, and what the heck, Barry's going to jump in as well. Here, like I can't really get it on here. So this is what we're going to do a tie, and you guys can join in the fun. So a good old Panama. We're going to start with the red Panama right there. Nice little transition, honey. Good job. So the first thing I need is the bottom hackle, which is going to be grizzly. So all I need to do is grab my, make sure I don't have flies falling off. Grab 2 hackles that are about the same size. The closer that you can get, the better. So just kind of bend them out. And this is where you don't need really big ones. You don't need really small ones. Just kind of regular, just average. Hopefully a size that you've got a bunch of.
I mean, yeah, it's a stimulator, right?
No, this is not a stimulator.
It's not. Why not?
Because a stimulator has elk hair or deer hair. But it is a tractor pattern like a stimulator.
Okay, a tractor pattern.
Yes. All right. So we've got our two hackles here, right? This is just red label hen hackle, but use whatever. We've got our 2 right here. We'll switch over to the hook. I want to measure this, and I'm going to go for the eye plus the shank. So roughly there. So I'll pinch this, pull this back, and we'll make this as easy as I possibly can. I kind of tied it both ways to figure out which way I like better. And I think I like the curve down, even though the color's not there, the curve down. So all I'm doing is making a separation point right where I want, right where my measurement is. So if you look there, that is still a touch long, but not much. And I like for the bottom ones to be possibly just a little shorter than the top one. So the brown hackle is going to be a little bit longer. Okay, so we've got this in. All right, so these are going, that red having hair tidbit, yeah. Hey, Mike. So the so normally when we tie hackles in like this, like for a typical Catskill style pattern, the hackles are going to go opposite directions, so they're going to oppose each other. I tie them in like this and then prop them up, right? But this time I'm going to tie it in a little bit differently. I'm going to cross this. I'm going to put one wrap right where that separation point, straighten it up. So I've got 2 wraps in there. You're just going straight off the eye. See how they're kind of flat going down? I want to make sure I've got it right on top. Pull everything back. Just a few little lashes to get it in. And then the next step is to lose your scissors because you tried to organize. I'll jump back. Okay, Marcus. Oh, man. Good luck with that. All right, cut that off. We'll clean this up just a pinch. Don't need to get too carried away because we're going to put a couple thread wraps so we'll cover up some of it. So you see we've got our 2 fibers right there. Just spread them out just a pinch like this. So you see how they're opening up now?
That's
Yes,
a cape, right?
this is a hen. This is a hen cape.
Yeah.
Good job, honey.
I do know.
Every now, you know a ton, honey. All right, so I'm going to just do an X wrap, and my goal here is to take these 2 tips and spread them out like that. Okay.
I really could work it. I'm ready. I could work at a fly shop.
Heck yeah, I'd shop there.
I'm just like ready to go out of the box. Just put me in there.
Yep. So see how I've got those spread out. That's all I'm trying to do is maybe one more. I don't need to do too awful much. Just an X wrap. So there we go. So we got them nice and spread out. So now we're going right, getting my thread to where it's right behind those hen tips. And we'll switch over to this material side. And you'll see I've got a nice furnace. We're going to do the exact same thing, but I'm going to tie it in more traditionally. I'm not going to spend too much time pulling these out. I do want 2 good ones. So I did catch a handful of sea run brown trout in the Norway fjords, and they're pretty cool. They are they look just like a brown trout, except they're silver and not very their coloration, they've got the same pattern, but their coloration is very much more muted. All right, so we got our 2 fibers here. We're going to do this kind of like normal. So see how they're going outboard? The shiny sides are facing each other. How was it fishing? Hey, Chris. Well, that was just fancy that you just asked that. We fished for maybe a day and a half the whole time we're gone. The time we're supposed to fish in England, the river WYE is the river we're supposed to fish, and it rose like a meter overnight, so that got kind of washed out. Anna and Elsa, my girls, want to know. Yes, we did. That was in Annick Castle. We used to switch over to the hook. That was in the Annick Castle. Anna and Elsa were definitely there, and they wanted to build a snowman, but it was too
too rainy.
It's too rainy. Yeah. All right, so we've got these. See how they're facing outboard? So shiny side facing in. So they're splayed out. So this is more kind of just normal how you would tie the hackles in. Normally I wouldn't spend this much time, but see I've got it right here. Loose wrap, tighter wrap. I'm bringing it back down. And try to stick yourself with the hook point. And now we've got that. See how we got all 4 feathers tied in there, nice and smooth. Everyone can do that now, right? Love for the fish and sea trout, the ones I want to pursue. They were really cool, Stephen. Unfortunately, when we're fishing with Barry, and he specifically said if the wind's coming from the north, the fishing's never any good. So you know which way the wind came from every single day, except the day we left on Monday. You know which way the wind was coming, and it was coming from the north every single day.
Hey, there's your sea run trout.
Yeah, there's that was We probably have a few Mo pictures somewhere. And I caught one on the propping that we tied. I caught
You
one on the
did.
magnus that
Got
we
one on
tied.
the propping and one on, yep. So look, that's the propping right there. I can't zoom it in, but that
Mhm.
fish has a propping in its mouth.
He had propped up. It was giant. I used my giant hands picture.
You sure did.
All right, so we got these in here. I'm going to do another X wrap here just to start propping these up. So we got these split. I'm going to pull everything back. Now build a little thread dam here. Not much of one, because you want to be careful. If you do too much, you can cut the you'll cut your hackle stem, and that's no bueno. So see how we're looking pretty close to what we want. Looks good. Let me know. Let me know if you got any questions on that part. That's really the tricky part. And we can do it a little slower on the next one, or I can do it faster on the next one, whatever you want. Just try and get this one fiber out of the way without cutting anything. All right, so now we're going to put our golden pheasant tippet right here. And I don't like putting a whole bunch on there. I think some people overdress their tails with golden pheasant. So I don't know how many that is. Stephen could probably tell me, count them out. But take that and we'll kind of fold them over. And I want to, I don't know. Let's see how that looks.
Oh, looks like 4 or 5.
Well, let's see, 3, 4, maybe 6, maybe 7. Just a little long. Now, one thing with the golden pheasant that I've kind of learned over the years is try not to tie it in super duper tight towards the tail or towards the end, because when you do, 6. See, Stephen, y'all are that's I think 6, 7 is about right. I mean, it's not much. I just see people putting like giant clumps on, and this is an attractor style fly, so it's not like you're trying to get a 3-prong tail or anything with them, but I just kind of feel like sometimes when the tail is really chunky, it's just a little overboard. I'm gonna pull these. I'm trying to pull everything forward here, and I'm going to trim that right there. Oops. Northeast is least. Northeast what? Northeast what, Steve? All right, so just keeping this kind of smooth. And you can see we got a nice little smooth body there with our good little, whatever it's called, that fly. I'm going to use some red floss and cut it off. I wanted to do this part while you guys are watching, because floss is it's a really easy material to use, but it's really just one main trick with it. Pull this to length. I'm going kind of quick because I do want to try to tie this 3 times. But so if you all have a question, ask me. And Steve and Steven, you all be in charge if I forget, if I miss someone, you'd be like, hey, John, dummy, you need to pay attention. And I'll try to pay attention. All right, so what I'm going to do is, and I didn't realize it was like this until Barry showed me. I'm going to bring this back. I want to make sure I've got a nice little black collar here. Not collar, but I'm purposely leaving this part blank with black thread. Probably should have made sure my thread's a little bit spread out, a little flatter. But I didn't. That looks pretty good. All right, so now it's hackle time. We'll try to go quick again. You can switch it. Yeah, there you go. So I'm going to pull this out. Let's see what we can find. This is just a brown rooster. And I like sizing it. So that is a big 14 or a really small 12. So let's see how it looks on the fly itself. Pull this around. Yep. That should be good. All right. So now I'm going to take it, look at the rachis or the stem here, and you'll be able to see I'm looking for two things, webbing, and I'm looking for the thickness of the stem. So when the stem starts getting thin, because like here it's really thin here, but I don't need to cut all that off, like really about, I'd say there. Still a little bit thick here, maybe a little more. And then we'll trim that. So all I've got, we'll zoom in on here. So we'll switch back to the vise. So now you can see all I've got is this little bit of bare stem there. Hold it angle. And we want to try to get it to behave as we tie it in. That'd be good. So it doesn't have to be touching wraps, but we do want smooth wraps. So I'm going to uncord my thread here. See how I've got the nice coverage on there. There is an occasional hen fiber that's sticking out, and that's okay. Because the floss will cover that. See, I go back every now and then just to work on that taper. I don't need much of a taper, but if there's a taper, I do want it to happen in the correct way. Cut this one out, that, and I think that the floss will cover up most of that. So here's the trick with the floss. I'm going to kind of switch over to this side, rooster hen with that one. So Josh, this is rooster. What I just now tied in is rooster. This is the only rooster. Everything else is hen that I'm tying in. No, this is just plain old 5 black silk wraps. Is that for the back little piece I use thread? Is that what the official pattern is? This is not silk. Silk probably look cool. But whether you've got silk, and is Freddie still on here? Because I believe Freddie sent me a nice little burnisher years ago, or 2, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I don't know. We'll break it out though. But have a relatively short piece of floss, relatively, okay? And then just run your fingers down. If you've got crummy fingers that you'll pick it and pull the pieces out, it's no bueno, because you don't want it. But doing this, untwist it, and just like your thread now, it's going to lay flat. And if you cut your if you hit your hook point, that's no good either. So let's switch back over to the hook vise, or to the hook vise, to the hook vise. So now you can see how that's laying nice and flat. So all I'm going to do is come around and make them touching wraps. You can be overlapping a touch, but I do not want them underlapping. Oh, me and my big words. Oh. I wish I could hear you talk, because that way when I messed up, you go, whoa, there's one on that side. I can be like, dadgummit. So we're just slowly wrapping it up. Just like so. This is about as fun as watching someone wrap floss on a fly, isn't it? Let's do one more. Okay. So we can catch that with one wrap here. 2 wraps in. So now we've got our floss captured. Pull this up. Cut that out. Throw it away. And remember, we made it kind of short, so I'm throwing this whole piece away because I'm not going to reuse it. I mean, I guess I could if I made it long, but with its long, then it doesn't unravel as easy and doesn't flatten out as easy. So just make the sacrifice and throw a couple inches of floss away. See, right now I'm just trying to keep that smooth. Now these two need to come up a little bit more. So I'm going to try with some encouraging wraps, right, Katie?
That's right.
Some encouraging wraps to have these come up a little bit more. And just for the heck, I'll pull them back like this. Now let's see how we're looking. And they don't have to be perfect because the hackle is going to help out a bit too. But that looks pretty darn good right there. I like for the bottom ones to swoop back just a touch, and the top ones to go forward. That's about. I don't do that very often. I'm sure I'll mess something up big time here in just a second. But if Gary was on here, he'd be like, "Dude, you forgot fill in the blank." But by, not but. Yep. All right, so let's make sure I'm going to swing this back over here. I'm just evening this part out here by transition. Try to pull everything forward. Okay. So any questions so far? Simple enough. Easy day. Got it.
So easy.
So now we've got our silky dyed such nice color. Oh shoot! You sand yours. Sand mine with. Oh goodness gracious! Now let's use. All this is doing here. This is Freddie's tool. Is just kind of rolling it around and trying to flatten out the body a little more.
See, I told you it's kind of like a sandfly.
You can spend a whole bunch of time on it, but I didn't do this on. I'm sorry, Freddie. I didn't do this on the other ones. I thought about it though a couple times, like twice. Okay, so we got this ready. So all we're going to do is palmer some hacker up. Ready? So we're going to go down. They're going to be open spiral wraps initially. So we'll go. Let's go for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I honestly made that up. I guessed. I was thinking 5, but hey, it worked. There's 5. Real tool. Now we're going to go 3 behind, maybe 4, but 3. We'll go shoot for 3. 1. Get my hackle out of the way. 2. 3. See how we got those done? I love a good stiff hackle. I don't see how you can tie and talk so well. I usually hold my breath most of the time. Yeah. Well, the hard part is when now they've got a commercial and skipping a commercial in the middle of this, so I can see your comments while I'm doing this makes it even tougher. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab everything, my thumb and my picker finger, and pull everything back. Pull this up. 1. Do it again. Remember, close wraps. 2. Right there. 3. I think I'm not going to do another one. We'll end it right there. Okay, so you see where my thread is right there. See, I want to undo that or do something forward before, so that way my thread is where my hackle's coming up. Because if I were to just tie it in where the thread was coming down right behind the hook eye, it would have pulled that whole hackle stem forward. Cut that off right there. Hold my thread tight so I can flick it, get all that junk out of the way, and figure out if I need to trim anything. It looks like I do, but I can't quite see it. Let's see if I can grab it. This is Steve. This is where I'm holding my breath, trying to get this one. There we go. One fiber. All right. So that looks okay. Kind of push everything back. Let's see. Bring my thread. I'm going to cord it up. It's right there. You somewhat start arranging our fibers right where we want them. There we go. Okay. So, I mean, it's messy as heck now because I just put my hands all through it. But, thumbs up on that. I did the same for the Eclipse Tear. So, okay. So now we're going to go for a little partridge. And this is just regular old partridge. But unlike normal, we're going to try to find a big feather, a big white, light gray feather. Because that's going to have a lot of good contrast in the darker hackle and that body. And it's funny. Usually we're trying to find a teeny tiny, super small one. Now we're trying to find a big one. I think I found one that'll work. I guess I've got some birds to buy and hit like. Thank you, Al. Well, that's what I'm going to try to do it. I'm just going to do different colors. Because Freddie, if you got some hen, you can use the same, just like you're doing the Adams. Just do an extra set of wings. And I love partridge, so I just like partridge a lot. I'm going to try to get 2 turns out of this. I mean, I could get probably 3 turns out of it, but I only need a couple. All right, so we'll switch back over to the hook. You can see I've got this little piece right there. I'm going to cut it off like this. So now I've got that little corner, and I want to knock the edges off here and here. So see, I've got that little bit. Did I say Freddie? You got some, I'm sorry, Howie. All right, so tie that in by the tip. Oh, get off. I don't want to get that in there. If your thread doesn't cooperate, give it a twist, and hopefully it will on the second time. See, I'm wrapping back on there we go. Back on the hook shank. Because remember, we've got to tie the soft tackle in and finish the fly. So we don't want to rush the head. No good on rushing the head. The heck? Oh. All right, so let's cut this big chunk of a stem off. And now we'll grab it. Remember how we wrap soft tackle? We switch it back. A tip I need to remember to pull the hackle straight up or down. So now we take our fingers, your thumb and your picker, or no, we'll do this thumb and flicker here. So put your thumb and flicker together, bring them back, just kind of stroke them back. So you make that little V. And if you see right there, let's see if I can move so you can see. See this kind of, they're going up. Doesn't have to be a completely folded, totally folded down V, but you get the idea. So that's 1 wrap, and here's 2 wraps. And that's pretty good. So just to keep it a little bit clean, I'll pull off all this extra. Oh, see, that's why when I rush it, see that big thick stem there? I want to make sure that goes. We'll tie it off on the bottom. We'll take our time with it. 2 and 3. I'm pulling that stem backwards. Let's see if I can get the pop off. Davy McPhail style. Oh, there we go. Give it heck. All right. So we'll do a little straightening up. Pull this partridge back. Just straighten it up and then I'll pull it all back. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. What eats these flies? You know, the fly the trout that eats everything. This is going to be fed to brookies and wild rainbows. And I'm pretty darn sure they'll nail it, which that makes them fun. Because normally we're throwing such small flies and throwing these giant flies to little small native brook trout is just a blast. Okay, so we got that done. All right, so we'll pull everything out, make it look somewhat decent. And you can see there's our finished quick, not like really super fancy, but that's our red Panama tied live for you right here. It is a French pattern, it's correct. That is a beautiful English fish. Must be squirrels, Freddy, because mine ended up eating trees. Russian Steve. No, it's a French pattern. I'm pretty darn sure. I didn't look up much on the history of it, but I do believe it's a French pattern. And I do every now and then. There's one or two hackle fibers at the very back that always drive me crazy, so I will pluck those two out, just like that. That way it makes it a little more symmetrical. And like I said, the hackle fibers are a bit disheveled, but it's okay. All right, so and I put a little head cement right there. So do you want yellow or black? That will be our next question. I'm going to go for a size 12 standard dry fly hook. So we don't all have extra long dry fly hooks, but we've got plenty of regular dry fly hooks. That's what we're going to use. It's a French and artistic. Okay. That's what I thought was French. I don't know about the artistic part, but he and I were talking about the tip. It definitely has to be raised up. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Okay, so this one we're going to do, let's do yellow. I don't do anything too crazy. But this one is a short shanked hook. So I'm going to cut back on the amount of room I'm leaving right there. Make it back. Not a short shanked hook, it's just a regular shanked hook. And this time, on the last one I did brown, or I did a different color brown, but I'm going to use this. It's just a unique variant. It's like a grizzly dun hen. I can't get it to show. We go to the side here. So this will be my bottom hackles. So this is, like I said, this is just a hen, another hen, just different flavor. Try when you pull them out. It really ticks me off when I do this. I pull two out, and there's a third one that really wants to play as well. And this one gets put on a special spot, and that's like they end up getting trashed. Unfortunately, I just hate wasting them. I can only keep so many single feathers for that one time that I need them. So I'm gonna do the same thing. This time I'm going for the entire hook. I think. Grief. But this is kind of the trick, kind of, is how you tie these bottom hackles in. Just have one on a standard size 10 hook with you. Cool, Josh. What size? That's the size of hummingbird, yeah. I don't know why, but I've turned it into a game to try and tie one. Josh, you're doing great. I like, if you'll send it to the email right now, Katie will be looking for it and try to share it before we turn off the live. So I'm going to cut this in. Let's switch over to the hook, honey.
What email did you want me to look for?
Josh is going to send you the one he just tied if he can get it. Okay, so we got it's much smaller. Angle, bring it over, straighten it up. So make sure it's on the top of the hook shank like that one is. I'm just going to pull that off. I don't usually like breaking the stems because I'll lose out on the chance to cut those fibers, but those actually did really well. So now we'll fan these two out. Maybe. Let you already get a good shot of my fingers right now. There's that one. That one. See how we got them fanned out reasonably well. All right. And now we'll get some smaller. This is a really pretty cape right here. Light Honey Dun. This is Stephen Hankins' favorite shop to buy feathers. And since he's selling them, so here we go. Not anymore. It's not his favorite shop now. All right, so we get those lined up. Do the same thing I did before. Check the length. That was about right. I saw some others tie with it right. Yep. That's it's like Swiss straw, kind of. What kind of? I think it is Swiss straw. It just gives the body a little more sheen. And you could use thread. You could use lots of things. You just want to make sure whatever it is not going to absorb like a ton of water and cause the fly to sink. That's the biggest no-no. So now we'll see if we can prop these up just a little bit. Nope. Whoops. All right, so we got them splayed. Looks kind of right. There we go. How are we looking now? Looks pretty good. Pretty good for what we're shooting for. All right, so now I need some. Oh, I'd use the red tippet. So use these guys right here. The golden pheasant tippets dyed red. Let's see if I can get this one to work. 6 or 7. I missed the first few minutes of the show, but is this suggestive of a crane fly? Looks like it could be fish as well. When Barry and I were talking about it, we both agreed this was I think we both agreed anyway. This is more of an attractor fly. So it's not really, I could totally be wrong by saying this, but it's not really designed to imitate anything in particular. But just to grab the fish's attention. But then again, that's just my guess. So check it out, look it up. I probably should have gotten one that had, there we go. Should have gotten a feather that the bars are closer together. So this one probably won't work at all. But I know yellow stimulators work really well in the Great Smoky Mountains. I love fishing them, and that's why I wanted to tie some yellow ones. Because I promise if the goal is to catch fish, which, believe it or not, that kind of is the goal, these will work for me. And they're fun to tie. Like, I've seen these once or twice, and I just really jumped on the opportunity to be able to tie this. And I haven't tied it on a standard shank hook. This is the first time tying it live is the first time I've done this one. So shoot me. I don't think a lot of people would be dumb enough to do that. All right, so now we're going to get yellow floss. We'll hook it right here at an angle. Pull it to length, same as we did before. This time I'm going to go all the way to the back, or just about all the way to the back, because I don't have as much room as I did before. And I'm going to get, all right, hackle guys. Let me switch over to the side. Steven, you got it. This is my favorite for stimulators in the park. It's my favorite color, golden straw. Love it. I mean, this is it. You don't see it very often. but if you can find a golden, I've got two saddles and now a cape. And if you get an opportunity, grab golden straw because I've got the grizzly dyed golden straw as well, and it's okay, but just okay. This thing this color is phenomenal. I like it. If you didn't know, now you know. This is not like if I could have one color, but this is that's a small 16. Let's see how it's gonna look. Yep, that looks good. Roughly fire plastic about all the roughly fire heads from the side seals and linked. Okay, Steve. See, guys, a lot of times we're blowing smoke, if you know what I mean. But on the other hand, I learn a lot from you guys. I won't write down what Steve put down there, but he's probably right. He probably just looked it up, and you guys have got lots of good information. All right, so we're going to take the fibers like I did last time. Bring this up. Remember, it doesn't have to be touching restaurant, trying to do anything but make a nice, smooth underbody. Okay, so we flip back over to the vise. Sorry. So we got the hackle tied in. We got the floss tied in. We got 4 feathers tied in, and we're ready to go. Actually, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2. Shoot, we got that many feathers tied in. So you see how I'm going to take this and start stroking it to make sure that it's nice and unraveled, nice and flat, nice and smooth, and have any wonky fibers coming out. Let's see. I'm going to get that about like that. So, and I was thinking, because we keep talking about tractor patterns, I've got, flip over to the side view here. I started tying my, you can't really see because there's only 2 in there, but black simulators for Alaska. Black attractor flies are what is going to work for grayling, apparently. So I'm tying black stemmies. I'm going to tie some black caddises, just black, bigger black flies. So I thought about tying this in a black coloration because I figured that would work in Alaska too. Quick going to strip clubs during the day. Have you got any of those gauges? I might just a little paper cup. Okay. Cut that off there. Now we're going to do the same thing. Make sure it's smooth. One bump there I don't like. There we go. Pull everything back. Bring the thread forward. Bring it back so we can prop everything up nicely. Bring it back nice and smooth forward. There we go. All right. So now let's make this pretty. We go for 4. 1, 2. Capture the fiber, but be okay. 3, 4. Now we'll do 3. I guess we're gonna get 2. 2. I'll pull everything back. Go 1. 2. Bring it up. Remember my thread's right there, right behind the eye. So I'm gonna unwrap it so it's right there by the hackle. 1, 2. I'll put one more in there. and whisper to it. When I whisper, it's like encouraging it. So the biggest reason I'm tying it like this with the standard, really the only reason I'm tying it like this with the standard shank hook is for those of y'all that don't have a regular or have the 3x long hook. And then we'll bring this back. Here we go. And hopefully that's enough room to wrap a hackle. And hey, John, is there a guideline on the barring of the pheasant tippet or just the look? Well, if there's a guideline, I messed up because I kind of deleted one of the bars because it was too long. It's just, I think typically you want, if I was going to buy a tippet again, I would get this, the tippet section, not a bag of tippets, because like when I first was getting them, you get just a bag of tippets like this, and you kind of don't know what you're going to get. But when you get, this is actually off the bird here, this tippet section, and you get just like regular feathers, small to big. And the smaller feathers, the bars are closer together. Bigger feathers, the bars are farther apart. So based on hook size, the smaller the hook, the closer the bars would need to be together. But I really feel like that's for the fishermen, not necessarily not really the fish. Let me grab something else. Here is a cool brand new thing that I got the other day. Here is a dyed partridge. This is dyed brown. So you can see it's just a little darker, and we're going to hopefully find a big feather on this one. We're doing pretty good on time, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get that? Did Josh's email come through? Or I don't know if he sent it. He sent it before and we'd forgotten about sharing it. I'm trying to find a nice big one. Maybe. This one might be good. I should have whispered more about the whole neck. Just fit all that on there, got on Steve. Okay. Yep, Josh sent it. All right, so we've got our one feather here. We'll pull off the fluff. All the fluff. That's pretty good. I'm gonna grab by the tip of it, pull it back, check my hackle length here. Keep saying hackle length. All right, so now we've got we've got our partridge feather here. We're gonna prep it the same way. So see, I've got a little piece there. See the little triangle there? I'm gonna knock the corners off of it. That. So now we got that little bit. And I'll tie it in, wrap it, and this one will be done. I'll cord up my thread. I wondered about the barring on the pheasant tippet. Yeah, when
Here's Josh's.
you gonna show it right now, or
Yeah.
okay? Let me.
I'll go back to it.
No. I want to look. I want to see. Okay, where is it? Okay, so Josh just now tied this on as we are going. So that is for. Here I am just working on a second one. He's gotten one tied and sent it to us live. Good job, Josh. That is a size 10 on a standard shank dry fly hook. And pretty fancy. Pretty good for timing. I'll have to tie a few and let you know if the Smoky Wilds like them. Do that. I think this color right here, Wes, with the red in the tail, and I think this will work really good. Pull this back, throw a couple wraps just like we did. Good job, Josh. That is really cool. Pull that off. Yeah. So we got 2 wraps in there, pull tight, bring everything back. I'll pull that one fiber out. Well, that didn't work. Well, one thing is for sure, no matter if you're on video or not, especially if you're on video, when you try to rush something, it doesn't go good. Now we'll try to break the stem out. Oh, I should cut it. Yeah, I won't cut that one. Okay. Now let's see. I'm gonna try to whip finish this and see if y'all got anything colorful. Rookies, I know what stream I'm gonna fish these up here. The rookies will tear us up. Josh is overachiever tonight. Josh has sent it to us before. We just haven't gotten. We just keep forgetting, and when it's about time for us to go off, we get distracted with everything else. So I'm glad we finally got to share it. But this is going to be a really cool one for all of y'all to show off your mad skills. And I'm crowding. That last whip finish was no good. That's okay. I think I've got plenty of room to get tippet in. Yeah, I can get tippet in. That last whip finish ruined the fly. So let's see what we've got to work with here. We've got our bottom. Pull these forward just a bit. There we go. So we got there's our top 2 feathers. And we've got our bottom ones, kind of like outriggers there. And so that's a pretty cool little thing. I don't know. And that red tail, pretty neat. So let's switch over to the other one, or to me, or to you. So I was going to tie a black one, but I'm afraid we'll go too long. And I'm really excited. We've been gone for basically a month. I'm glad we've got a good little group here tonight. We're so sorry we didn't post much. When we were hanging out with Andy and Ann Kitchener with Semper Fly, they posted a bunch of pictures of Facebook, and we were kind of, people were living vicariously through them because they were sharing much stuff. But as usual, made it look easy. Well, I don't know if it made it look easy. Hopefully it looks doable. That's what I'm trying to make it look like it's a lot easier to tie. See if Southern Colorado fish eat this in a couple months. That'd be good, Stephen. But thank you, Steve. And Stephen, I'm telling you, I thought this would be one that would be right up your alley. Some stuff we've got coming up. I'm going to tie another fly that I learned from Barry, and he and I sat down in his tying studio, and he tied it for me. It's called the Worm, and it is very interesting. But we're going to tie that one in the next couple weeks. But between now and the beginning of June, we're going to be tying black flies. We're tying like the Dalai Lama. We're going to tie black 3-inch leeches, black stimulators. So here's, and when we started tying flies for Instagram and stuff, we were really trying to tie pretty flies that fished really well. And we're still trying to do the same thing, but we're focused now on, I'm not going to spend 20 minutes tying the fly. Here's the black one. We'll switch it over. I just tied this one before we went live. That should work great. But just black, a little bit of shine to it. We're going to tie black flies. The grayling, apparently stuff like this is what they like. So that's what we'll be tying. Ken, glad you wanted Ken. Where's Ken? Is there a Ken on here?
Ken's on here.
Ken, Uncle Ken? Or another Ken?
Ken from Australia.
Oh, our Australian Ken.
Yes.
Cool. Didn't see him on earlier. Well, we're back, Ken. Yes. So if you've got any suggestions for black attractor type flies, let me know. Maybe we'll tie that one. But we'll tie in a lot of black stuff. Anywho, well, thank you so much. It's been awesome seeing you guys, seeing you all chat, already seeing Josh's pictures. As you all know, email them to us at themooseflyfishing@gmail.com or tag us in the photograph on Instagram when you share them. Speaking of Instagram, I didn't go live, not one time. I'm sitting here looking at my live screen, did not even go live. Oh, well. Freddie, we're looking forward to seeing your flies. Steven, we'd love to see you give this one a whirl. Bill, it's awesome. Always good to see you guys. You guys make my week. Thank you so much. I'll turn it over to Katie and let her say goodbye. Let me know if you got any questions between now and next Wednesday night. We'll see you then.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend.